Ain't nobody blaming God for what people did to me. I know how to separate man from God. The people who abused me are not God. I already gave that testimony. But my thing was, I prayed against that abuse. I did the things that I needed to do on the inside to make sure that I wasn't calling that attention to myself. And it's not just sexual abuse, physical abuse, but even the emotional abuse that I endured, the mental abuse that I endured. When people see that you are broken, they blame you for your brokenness. I didn't break me. So don't blame me when you see that I'm no longer the same. I'm broken now. I'm trying to get back to the me that I need to be. There's no going back to the you that you were before you were broken. I just learned that. It's a new you have to walk into. It's a whole new life now. I thought it would just be people who really didn't understand, who weren't in the spirit. But it was the people who were in the spirit and of the spirit who dropped me, who did not pray for me. They talked about me. But these are the very things that are preached about. But then when you see somebody going through it, they're the ones who are ostracized. They are the ones who are made out to be the villain. I don't care if I get talked about for getting on a camera, crying and screaming and hollering, because when I went to the people who were supposed to help me, I got talked about. So there was no other way for me to do it. I can't take myself out. I have a daughter to raise. I'd be talked about to be called selfish if I did any harm to myself. But all those days where I cried out for help, I was ignored. So nobody was put on this earth to go through these things and just brush them off. I'm only 20 years old. I'm proud of myself for having the boldness that I have and not caring about people's opinions and crying out as much as I do, because people talk about the mental health ministry in the church, but so many people just do not know what it really takes to be a person who was called into that healings ministry. It breaks you first. I know what ministry I was called into, but I took that yes back, like, God, I really just don't trust you, and until you help me trust you, I just don't know how, because it was only him and I for so long. Let people say how they genuinely feel without judging them. When all you can do is pray about it, get over it. If they're not healed in the next 3 business days, the next 3 months, the next 3 years, the church drops them, or you must not be trying. You must not be fasting. You must not be praying. You must be sinning to stay in that situation that you're in. Sweetheart, you sound just like Job's friends. And them be the same Christians who will tell you to study the book of Job, but then you're treating me like the ones that were out of order in his story. I'm just making a point how people will do young folk in the church a lot. Y'all love to say young folk. We want the young people. We want to save the young people. But whenever the young people come, it's no glue there. And then when certain churches will transform to the ways of the world to try and draw in the young people, because that is happening, there are a lot of us out there, but we want holiness for real. We just want to know that we can really go to God with everything that we're feeling and be completely honest and open without being made out to be the bad guy. While people are talking about being in the church, God has actually been using this situation, like me and my brokenness, seemed to be more effective than me when I was preaching and you know, like, I'm not saying that out of pride. I'm just saying it shocked me. I didn't even know God could use me in a state where I'm trying to seek him and find him, and me just being honest about what I felt has actually helped so many people, and so many people actually get back to God. So I want him. I desire him. I long for him, but I just did not want to lie. I'm not going to lie about how I truly felt, because I was confused. I was hurt and misunderstood very. I am not a bad guy. I'm not a bad person. And people know that. They know I'm a very sweet person. I'm a very nice person. I did things wrong. I handled things wrong. I reacted to certain things wrong, and I responded wrong. And I fully apologize. But what I will not do is sit back and not help other people and not be honest in my life story. I will not allow the opinions of others to control the pen that I use to write my story any longer. That is my only point.